right, guys, welcome to
Welcome
Podcast
back.
Idea episode 14.
14.
We fucked up last time.
Did?
We said 12 and it was 13.
Oh.
So, 14 now. I'm here with David again, and we're going to have a short discussion about many things with life and life advice
About
that
life.
we cannot give because we don't have that many years in this
So we're
earth.
just bullshitting.
Yeah. No, man. This podcast, we talk about stuff that we think is gonna help us as young people, right? Right?
Sure.
Yeah. That's it. Okay, let's start. Yeah, here in the beginning, me and David were just taking the thumbnail for the video. I'll probably put a section there for you guys.
Yeah, how about no?
Yeah, why not? Right?
Because it's cringe.
It is. I know. Okay, let's just jump into it. Okay.
Let's go.
Mindset. That's the first thing I wanted to talk about.
What about mindset?
Mindset. What do you know about mindset? Or what do you think about mindset? What can you tell us about mindset? Dave?
About mindset?
If I tell you, what's the first thing that comes to in your mind?
Something. It's basically how you think prior to doing something.
Okay.
Or it doesn't have to be prior. It can be
Uh-huh.
during something.
Yeah, sure.
But basically, what your mentality is.
Mentality, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I think about when I hear the word.
So when I was making the topics that we're gonna talk about in this video, I was thinking, like, for mindset especially. Nowadays, when I look at my classmates in high school and all of that, a lot of people are always, I wouldn't say they're sad or down much, but they're always they always say they're tired and stuff, or
Mhm.
they don't have time, which is fine, and I get it. But I feel like if you can change your mindset, you'll automatically have more time. For example, you can do more with your time. What do I mean by that?
Do you mean? I mean, I don't know if you could have more time.
No,
you
but-
might be able to spend your time more wisely.
Exactly.
Is that what you mean?
That's what I mean.
Okay.
So like, when you say you have no time, usually it's because you do have time, but that time that you have free, either you're doing something that's not very productive. This is time like outside of what you do for school, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Which you always have, or you're doing something that it's mainly something that it's not productive and that makes it seem like you have less time, and then you get stressed because like schoolwork and you have a lot of stuff to do, and then you can't cope with it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you change your mindset, if you tweak it just a little bit, first of all, to be a little more positive, even if it's like, I really believe in this. Even if it's forced in the beginning, just to make it seem like it's better, you know, like you don't have to be extremely happy, but if you put that idea in your mind that it's not bad, it's fine, and it's gonna be a great day,
Mm-hmm.
as much as it sounds like bullshit, it helps. You trick your mind, and you get better.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you for sure that happened to me. Because I used to be like, not sad all the time, but get tired and mood was down, lot to do, don't know what to do. So I was just like, let me try to be like happy. Every time someone asks me, how are you? I'm just like, I'm great. Nothing wrong with that. Like,
Yeah.
because if you think about it, we're here, we're alive, right?
Yeah.
We might as well do something about it. It's even if you're a nihilist, who cares, right? Who cares if it has no meaning? You know what nihilism is, right?
Kind of.
So, in short, it's just like you think that there is no intrinsic meaning to life.
Yeah.
It's not like we were
Yeah.
put here for a reason or anything like that. And there is a branch of that I've heard about, and it's optimistic nihilism.
Mm-hmm.
That you think, yeah, there is no meaning, so we make our own meaning. We do it, and it's fine. And I really believe in that. Like, I don't really believe we're here for a specific reason. We're just a product of what came before us, but we can decide what we do with it. And if we do have a more positive mindset with that, we can actually enjoy our time much more and actually be more productive. Because then you're like, yeah, let me look at my schedule. Let me see. Hey, I do actually have more time. And if I'm happy, I can have more space in my mind to think as well. So it's not like I'm worrying about anything else or any problems or anything like that. But don't get me wrong. I know that school, especially in the year that I'm on, and now getting closer and closer for you because you're in the second year, I'm in the third year. It is a lot of shit to do. Like you have to concentrate in school. That's I'm not saying don't. What I mean is there is always time. And when I say this, I'm talking to myself because lately I've been doing the podcast, but the rest it's a little bit hard because like sometimes I work. Like yesterday, I worked 12 hours, um, but then the rest is like schoolwork, and now I have all these projects and stuff. And like when there are weeks that it's like completely full, yeah, concentrate in school first. But whenever you have some time, be it half an hour, do something that you would actually like to do.
Mm-hmm.
It could be like in my case, I love to work on my project, work on this, and some people might look from the outside and think, hey, that's not. I don't want that because that seems like a chore to me. It's work, right? But people have to understand that sometimes people want to do this type of stuff instead with their time, and if that makes you happy, then it won't feel like a chore at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like it
I
doesn't
agree.
for me.
I agree.
Okay, I've talked for enough, David.
Yeah,
Tell me.
I think everybody has time. Everybody has 24 hours in a day, right? Then it's up to them to choose what they want to do with that, right?
Yeah,
It's up to them how much they want to sleep. Let's say you sleep 8 hours,
Sure.
you have 16 hours left. You do whatever you want. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to go to school, but you choose to go to school, right?
yeah. I mean, it depends on your age. Like here, it's kind of mandatory.
Yeah, sure.
But let's say you have
high
to go to
for
school.
example. Here, you don't have to go to school.
Sure.
But let's say you want to go to school, right? You prioritize that. Let's say 8 hours, right? And then you have another 8 hours to do whatever you want, and then it's up to you. You choose whatever you want to do, and I think you have to prioritize. It depends what you want to do, and I don't think you should do a lot of things that, or in your free time at least, which you consider as chores. Obviously, you have to do some things, for example, at home or whatever.
Yeah,
But
of course.
But except for that, there are things that you can choose within your free time to do whatever you want, right? And I think you should do things that you don't consider a chore, because then it's gonna be like work.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, I'm not saying don't do what you have to do, like school, chores, anything like that. But it's like that conversation we had about laziness. That laziness tells you what you don't like to do, but it doesn't mean that you don't have to do those things.
Yeah,
right?
wasn't that like a Gary Vee thing that we talked
It
about?
was.
Yeah.
We talked about that with Sebastian. Remember, I said that procrastination and laziness was good.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, because that's the common understanding that we have that laziness leads to less productivity, but maybe
Agree.
not, because it could tell you what to do that would make you more productive. So yeah, I feel like at least once a day you have to have something that makes you feel better when you're doing it, and that could be social media, but in many times it isn't, because as we've seen like many times, like social media is a very very good tool for marketing, for many other things, but you have to be careful with these things like likes and stuff, and being too worried about that. You shouldn't
Yeah.
be. Which I actually
And big companies, for example, like Instagram or
Yeah.
Facebook, are working against that. Have you seen that they
Yeah,
took away the likes thing?
yeah, and I actually support that.
Yeah, same.
I actually really like the way they did it, because they kept the likes for yourself, which is it is important. Likes are so important for like if you're trying to promote something or something like that. But if you're not comparing yourself to other people, then you might be not happier, but you won't care about that, and it won't be another burden in your mind. Just like when you're trying to do something that makes you happy. That's something else. When dealing with stress, my tip is try to, when you're doing something, only have that one thing in your mind. Don't try to think of the next 50 things you have to do, because then that thing that you're doing is not going to come out right. You're going to be stressed. It's not going to work. For example, in my job, I work at a kitchen, right? And I have to do a couple of things all the time. Like I have to make pasta, I have to wash pans, I have to replace things, and then I have to clean later. And I have to switch quickly between those tasks. But if I think of like doing the machine or like fixing the machine while I'm portioning the pasta, it's not going to work. It just doesn't. I actually saw this in psychology class, and there is a theory about this, that apparently there is an arbitrary part of our brain that takes care of the main task at hand. You can multitask if you think of other stuff like that's not taken away from the central executive that they call. So for example, you can think of a song, or that's like the phonetic system, right? If you have a song in your head, you can keep working. That's fine. But if you think of something that takes away from that main thought process that you have, then that will hinder your productivity. So that that compounds into your mindset as well, because you have to think about that. You have to be concentrated in one task as well.
It's true.
Can you give me any examples where that could be useful or you use that?
I mean, for example, this that you said, like multitasking. I mean, people try to multitask a lot, and then sometimes it doesn't work that well. For example, at home, I usually have two things up on my monitor or on my monitors, two different things. For example, I'm watching a video, and then sometimes it's not that interesting. But then when it's interesting, I want to watch that video, or even if it's just an interesting video, sometimes I want to like search up something on the other monitor, and then and then sometimes I get carried away, It's like, oh wait, what did they say? And it's always like, wait, they said this, but how did they do it, for example? So I always have to go back, and I always get lost because, I focus my attention onto the other thing, like what I'm searching up. So sometimes when it's really hard to do two things at the same time, especially when it's listening and taking in the information. That's very hard.
Because according to that theory, you cannot do two things at the same time that take from the main thinking source that you have, right? The central executive. So you can switch quickly between tasks, but switching always takes away from your efficiency. So when you switch, you lose a little bit instead of just concentrating one task for a longer period of time. So that's why it doesn't really work. Sometimes you need to multitask, and you have to be careful not to get stressed. Because if you control your stress, so in a way that, oh yeah, I'm going to be, quote, stressed just so I do this task more quickly, then that's fine. But if you're stressed in your mind, then you can't. It's not going to come out well.
Yeah.
It's like when you're angry and you try to do whatever. It doesn't work, right? So, yeah, that's an example. My job, the main one that I wanted to talk about, I did, which is like in school, people saying, yeah, I'm always tired and stuff. I don't have time. And I get it, because I rarely have time as well. But you have to find time. Like instead of being on TikTok, I don't know, for half an hour, you do something else. Or if you really like TikTok, then that's fine. But like usually it's something that makes you feel that you're doing something, you're productive. That'll make you feel better. I'm guessing you agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that was the second thing I wanted to talk about, lack of time, which we did go through. The last one here from my list is self-awareness, which is one of the things I talked about back in my video alone about that book I was reading, Emotional Intelligence.
Yeah.
Right? And self-awareness, I want to read the definition here.
Okay.
You probably know a little bit about what it is. But
Yeah.
Let's see. The ability to recognize and understand your moods, emotions, and drives, as well as their effects on others. So how do you think that's important to us?
I think that's very important, self-awareness. And what I've realized that a lot of my friends are lacking self-awareness.
Okay.
They
Okay.
which I hate when people are not self-aware. It's super annoying.
Okay, so what do you mean by they're
But
not self-aware?
like for example, they don't know like what's it going on. If you know what I mean, you know, it's like
Okay.
wait, what? You know,
Yeah.
it's a lot of those moments. Like wait, what did you just say? What's going on? You know, what just happened? You know, or for example, you're talking to them and then they just like pull up their phone or whatever, and then it's like wait, can you say that again? You know, or just for example, just not being self-aware, knowing what's going on around you.
Okay.
You know, just like for example, walking with your phone on the street and you just go through like everything, you know, like roads and stuff, and it's like, oh, wait, did I just go through that? Wait, what? You know, it's like
Uh-huh.
they're lacking self awareness. They don't know what's going on around them, which I personally think is super annoying.
Yeah. I don't know if I would categorize that specifically as self-awareness. It could be just lack of attention.
Okay,
But
yeah.
it could be self-awareness as well. So like by self-awareness I mean more like your emotions.
Mhm.
So like I'm feeling sad, and how does that affect other people? How does that affect me, myself, and that type of stuff. But yeah, of course, if you're lost,
Mhm.
that also affects other people.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, self awareness is very important as well for example, for knowing what you want to do.
Mhm.
Right. Because if you're not self aware, you're not really gonna know what you're here for. Or I know we talked about nihilism in the beginning, but what
Mhm.
you actually want to do, what's
Mhm.
your drive, what's your passion, right? And it's very important to find that. Otherwise, it's hard to find meaning here if you don't find that. So if you could look back yourself at what you've done, at least this year, and tell me what from the experiences you've had, what do you think you want to do with the rest of your life? It's a hard question, and it doesn't
Only
have to
from
be
this
right.
year?
No, like from the past, from your
the
story.
past.
Yeah, I mean,
Like what I want to do.
pretty much, but based on your experiences, right? What you fit best into.
Do you mean goal in life or what I want to work with? What I want to.
Everything. You choose.
Everything?
Yeah, up to you.
That's a hard question.
It is
man.
a hard question, but it doesn't have to be right. It doesn't have to be what it's actually gonna be. But
Mhm.
at this point, what would you say?
Mm, I don't know, man. I think it's. I would probably say helping others
Helping
in
others.
some way, shape, or form.
Okay, how so?
Because if you think about, like, for example, like if you want to run a business, right?
Okay.
And you're selling a product, right?
Sure.
You're selling a product because there's a problem to be solved, right? It either helps with
Yeah.
convenience or it's like a problem, and this product would help you out with that, right?
I mean, a good business is based on that.
Yeah, for example, this mouse, right? It's wireless.
Uh huh.
Yeah, and then there are wired mouse, right?
Uh huh.
Wired
Mice.
wired mice.
Uh huh.
But for example, if you have a wireless one, you know you can sit here and then control what's going on the computer, right?
Yeah.
This is a product and it solves a problem, right?
Uh-huh.
So you're helping people in one way, I guess, right? So
Sure.
I guess it would be helping people, you know, in some way, shape, or form, either by coming up with like a product that helps a everyday problem. But it's always fun to see like people being happy over something you can, you know, like manufacture or you can provide. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
So, for example, if I, yeah, like this mouse, you know, and
Uh-huh.
it's like you buy one, it's like, wow, this is the first wireless mouse, you know, it's like, yeah, you just solved the problem, basically. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? So
It
that's
is
a helping
convenience.
problem.
Yeah.
Or helping people in one way. I think that would be my goal in life.
Because would you say does it have to be through business, or could it be like just nonprofit, or business fits better with
No,
you?
it doesn't have to be business. I'm just saying as a goal.
Uh-huh.
So as like a frame,
As
like,
a
as a
goal.
goal.
As a goal. I
Yeah.
get it. I get it. So you want to help people.
Yeah, in some way. And it can either come in as a service or as a
Uh-huh.
product,
Sure.
or whatever, you know. It can
Well-
even be like being kind or like helping out.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be like business.
Okay. To play devil's advocate here,
Mhm.
why? Why do you want to help people? What's good about that? Because you can't just say it's good because helping people is good.
Yeah.
Right? No,
Yeah,
really, you
true,
have
true,
to you have to reflect on this, and you have to think, why am I doing this?
No, because-
Why do I want to do this?
Because it makes me happy, first of all,
Okay.
to see other people being happy, right?
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, it's a good feeling to being able to like do something that's good for someone else. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's a good feeling, you know.
It's a good feeling. Okay.
For example, even just like helping out, you know.
Uh-huh.
And like if you're moving or whatever, and you come along, it's like, yeah, I can help you, and then you know they're super happy, and then you feel happy as well.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know, it's a good feeling. And
I get
it. And it's not pointless, you know. It's not
No.
like
I get it.
whatever, you know, just like scrolling through TikTok or something.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Or I guess you know what I mean, right?
I do actually know what you mean. Yeah, it actually gets us to the question of is there anything that's truly altruistic, like you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because do you believe in that?
No.
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 No. Yeah, me neither. But why? Why don't you believe in that?
I mean, didn't we talk about this on?
We
the
did, I
episode?
think. Yeah. So just
I mean-
to catch up
no.
for everyone else, like we said, I feel like we did this. Yeah, I feel
we
like we
did,
said that we don't believe in altruism because there's always something that both parties can gain from, right? It's never truly one-sided, which is good. That's the basis of many things in this life. For example, still in that book that I talked about last week, the economics book, right? Economics is all about this. Economics is about having transactions that benefit both parties and not only one. Because if it only benefits one party, the other party won't do it. So I won't get much deep into that, and there are many people that disagree with
Yeah.
this.
For example,
But yeah.
can I give you an example?
Of
this?
course, go.
Let's say like commenting on an Instagram post, right?
Okay.
Why do you comment? It's because you want to show like other people what you're thinking, or appreciation, or whatever. You
Yeah.
want to tell someone what you think, right?
Uh-huh.
For example, the creator, whoever posted the picture.
Sure.
Let's say that I'm going to tell you, it's like, okay, you can write a comment on a post which you want to comment on, but you know that nobody is going to see it. Like, it's 100% nobody's going to see
Okay.
it. I'm going to take that comment, like, away. You know,
Uh-huh.
it's just going to be your comment, but nobody's ever going to see it.
Yeah.
Would you still comment?
Me personally, probably not.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Because I feel that would be an example of this.
Uh-huh.
Because, you know, it's like, nothing's happening. It's pointless, you know?
Sure.
Okay, it could be one way of, like, expressing yourself, or, you know, some people are, like,
Yeah.
writing things down.
Sure.
But it's still, like, a transaction. You know what I mean?
I get it. I get
so
it.
someone reads it and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, you know.
It's like a
yeah,
hate
thank
comment.
you for, you know, liking this, or, you know, whatever.
Uh-huh. Think
know?
of a hate comment.
Mm-hmm.
Why do people give hate to other people? Because they feel bad.
Okay, yeah.
Because they might be insecure about something,
Mhm.
right? Or they might be jealous or something like that.
Mm.
Some problem that they might have, and
I
they
mean, yeah.
project it to someone else. And I feel like that's the basis of judgment.
Mhm.
It's because you want to make someone else feel worse, because then comparatively you're gonna feel better.
Mm. I mean, not necessarily, but usually.
Yeah.
Or it depends. Like, hate and, like, criticism,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, you know,
Yeah.
there's a line to be drawn.
And that-
Criticism, that I wouldn't consider that hate. That's just
No,
criticism.
of course,
Oh,
course.
yeah.
But I'm saying hate.
Mhm.
Like when you really see people hating on other people.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like the main problem that we see is that, yeah, those people are actually having a transaction that's not beneficial for both parties, and that's why it's not good. And maybe it is mutually equal because both parties are worse off. The person receiving hate is worse off, obviously, and the person giving hate is not getting anything better, actually. But because of the nature of the situation, that's what happens. But when you concentrate on the opposite, actually trying to bring value to other people, you're going to bring value to yourself as well. So then you get back to the mutual benefit thing. Because, this has its like basis on, I guess, selfish behavior, right? Because then you're thinking about yourself and you're not thinking about other people. But if you think of yourself really and you think of what's best for you, you're going to realize that the only way you can actually truly do good for yourself is by helping other people, because then you'll help yourself.
Yeah.
That's just like I really believe in this. Like, this is how it is. Because of course, everyone says that we're social creatures, but it makes sense. We work better together. However, we only do because we want to survive ourselves individually, right? So if you look back in evolution, people were in gatherings, in groups together because they wanted to survive individually, but they ended up helping other people. So you help other people to help yourself. So the common misconception is that when you think of selfish behavior, it's not mutual benefit, mutually benefiting. Sorry, you think that the person is only doing it for themselves, and it's only themselves that are gonna be better off. And more often than not, that's not how it happens, and that's how it's supposed to be. That's the only way we can actually progress.
Yeah, I agree. And it's, for example, also like when you're selling a product, let's say this mouse again.
Sure.
Right, you're selling this product, it's also a win-win situation.
Yeah,
the customer
that's the
gets
point.
something, and they're like, wow, yeah, this solved the problem. Now I can, do whatever from the couch, on the computer. And Apple also makes money on this, right?
Yeah, if you think about it, look, it is mutually beneficial selling a product, because the person selling the product wants the resources, the money from it, so it can spend it on something else, right? Or it can keep the business going, make a living, whatever. And the person buying wants a solution for another problem. But if they don't make that transaction, one person's going to be stuck with a mouse that they don't need and spent money, and the other person's going to be stuck with money that maybe would have been better off if they actually spent it on the mouse. So that's why it's mutually beneficial. It's not like I'm selling it to you and I'm the only one getting profits. You're not getting anything. You're getting the mouse.
Yeah.
You're solving a problem as well.
Exactly.
So that's what I mean. Mutually beneficial transactions.
That's what I mean as well.
No, I know, but it's something that can be overlooked. But it's very good when we realize the importance and why it's not bad to be selfish. It's only bad if you're not self-aware enough, to get back to that you don't realize that being selfish also means helping other people, because that's the best way of helping yourself. If that makes sense. I guess we can get to that conclusion. What else, man?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Sir.
Yeah, we have more topics. Look, there is one thing that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And this is in news, and I found an article recently. And this is on TikTok.
Okay.
Okay? And TikTok has been, well, it's growing and growing now, becoming more popular. TikTok as in the social media. And I remember having a conversation a couple weeks ago with you before the podcast and Alexander here. And you guys were talking shit on TikTok.
Yeah.
You were saying that, oh yeah, it's for kids and it's bad and stuff. And yeah, I've had some conversations with some different people really talking about that and thinking, is it actually bad, or is it for kids, or whatever that means?
I mean,
right?
I think the reason we said it's for kids is because it's super cringe. We think it's super cringe.
Why? Why do you think it's super cringe?
Most TikToks, because I mean, come on. You see what these people are doing on TikTok?
Okay.
You know, dancing
Uh-huh.
around. I personally think it's super cringe.
Uh
Um,
huh.
yeah, but I guess it could be used as a tool. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying
Okay.
it's cringe, in my opinion.
Okay.
I find it to be cringe. But, you know, I guess it could be used as a tool, you know, as
Uh-huh.
Gary Vee says as well, a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
organic growth and stuff. So, sure, you know, if you want to use it as a tool, more power to you. But I still think it's super cringe.
I disagree.
You disagree?
I disagree only because I feel like all
So
of
you don't
these.
find it cringe?
No,
Okay.
I don't. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because in a very short amount of time, I do believe that no one's gonna find it cringe anymore, and it's not
Okay.
gonna be a huge shift in content that's gonna
Okay.
do that. It's just how it works.
But do you
People
think
are-
it's gonna be like not cringe in the future, or is it, or do you think it's not cringe now?
I don't think it's cringe now, but I think that in the future, more people are gonna realize it's not cringe,
Okay.
and it's actually important, and a lot of people are gonna realize that they missed out.
Yeah, that could be true.
Because if we look back to other social medias in the beginning, like whatever, I always give you that example of Facebook and probably to the same extent Instagram in the beginning, how sure it became popular, but yeah, it's only the kids using it. It's something new that we don't need to learn. It's a big change, whatever we don't want to know, right? But when you look at it now, Facebook, for example, is used by only older people. Not only older people, but it's the most used social media, and it's a lot older demographic than when they started. So that's one thing. If you think of the time that it came out, of course, I wasn't really paying attention to all of that at that time, but it was more a time that, yeah, they didn't have much social media. A lot of the communication was through email, and the internet was, I'm not going to say more formal because that's probably wrong, right? But at that time, it was a little bit different just because it was younger, right? But yeah, imagine us at that time looking at Facebook and looking at like videos of people or even photos. I think that at that time it was only photos or something.
Okay.
How cringe is that? You're sharing a picture that's yours to all of your friends at the same time, even if you don't want to send it to one of your friends, for example, right? If you write an email, you can send it to everyone that you want, but you can omit some people, right? Not on Facebook. It's the feed, everyone can see it, whatever. Or anyone can search up your name, and it's there. I remember a problem was like, my parents always said it, like when I was a small kid, like I couldn't have Facebook because, yeah, it's the internet. If you put something on the internet, it's gonna be there forever and stuff. And then people were afraid of that. But now we see, yeah, it's not that bad. It's very useful. It's very good for marketing, and people just didn't realize it. And at that time, it was very underpriced, and now not so much. So
yeah, I mean, it
so
could
I
be
feel
the
like
same thing with TikTok.
I feel
although
like it is.
I still think it's super cringe right now. It could be, you know, in 5 years. Who knows? You know, that might be like.
I don't think there's going to be a huge shift in content by then, but I feel like it's going to be a shift in mindset, like we discussed before.
that might be
So
the case, but we don't know because it's the future. But now
Yeah.
I still think it's cringe. I think it can be used for a tool, definitely,
sure,
or as a tool.
because the article I found was, well, let me read the headline. What marketers should know about TikTok ad formats and a roundup on partnership news. So they talk about how you should, like ways to advertise on TikTok and how that's better for you, for your business, for example. Here they say like hashtag challenges, right? So on TikTok you have the hashtags. Maybe you watch more TikTok than I do.
I mean, not really, but I
but
mean,
it is true.
More than
It
you.
is true.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe you can tell me more, but so pretty much how it works, you have hashtags and people have those challenges within like those hashtags. Like I remember that one that you like pour whatever, you pour a liquid into a cup and then you keep it going until it overflows the cup, and then it's just like this one song.
Uh-huh.
If you do that with a product that you have, I don't know, you sell juice, you do that. I saw an example was like, I think it was Gary Vee talking about this. He like ice cream inside, and then like the right TikToker picks that up and does it as well. That's free marketing for you,
That's true.
right? And it's organic as well. What do you mean? What do I mean by organic? If you look at the Explore feed, it's like for you, right?
Yeah.
Whatever the name is. There, you don't only see TikToks from people close to you or even like only people in Sweden. You see it from all over the world because there is space for that. It's not too saturated that they have to pretty much focus only on the content that you want to see. They can put any type of content there because there is enough space for that. There aren't enough people for that, just like Instagram. Like Explore, it's only for the stuff that you want. And then it gets too narrow. When it's not like that, you have more organic growth. By organic, I mean people from all over the world that don't know you find your post from nowhere. And that's very valuable because then
Yeah, it is.
there you don't have to promote anything or anything like that.
Yeah, as I said, it can be used as a tool,
Yeah.
but I still think it's cringe.
Okay. Well, I feel like we can go back to that, but I wanna actually start going more on TikTok and researching more to see what I can do with it as well. Because I feel like just like we talked about voice before, it's the same thing. Just voice is a little bit more advanced, I guess. Okay, that's it. That's it for this week. But I feel like we had some good conversation about mindset and time. And I feel like it's good for us to really think about that, really reflect on that, so we know what we're doing, so we're self-aware. Right?
Yep.
Well, thank you for joining me today,
Yeah,
David.
thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching, guys, or listening. And I'll see you guys next week.